Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Shadowhand. We're on this pause menu, and you know what I just recognized is that on this pause menu, this image that was at the very beginning of the game that was supposed to be the two main characters, main female characters, and I guess Maria is not really a main character because she disappeared instantaneously. They're wearing either masks or they're just generally not drawn to any detail. Very different looking than this image, which obviously this image here, this character was placed on top of the background. So we are moving on to chapter 11, and these chapters are getting longer and longer, and we found the smuggling map, and we were going back to the gypsy lady to get more of an information. So we're going, I guess, to the Cur Stones, in which Lady Spry ruins... I don't know who Lady Spry is. I guess it's this character. Rains fury upon Shadowhand for past crimes. Interesting. So maybe at chapter 11 of 22 chapters we're being introduced to a competitor or antagonist. Wait, so here we have the big cleavage gypsy Madame Mercy character, which I guess at this point I probably should say thank goodness for the cleavage, because otherwise you would mostly be seeing a very weirdly dressed covered up character in Shadowhand, and none of the other characters, male or female, are particularly that interesting, at least in the lewd form of dress. I'd like to come here and think about the ancient folk. Will you stay with me a while and tell me about your progress, Shadowhand? What is she? I guess that's a tambourine. Alright. As you know, my efforts as an outlaw ended with a stay-in gal, and now I'm a wanted criminal. I feel I have failed you, Madam Mercy. You're still learning, Shadowhand. Take heart. Help me gather some heather to lay as an offering by these old stones. We can talk meanwhile. And see, this would be a point where walking could equate to playing solitaire, which arguably, if you had told me that every time you play a game of solitaire you're actually walking, and if there was just a little walking animation that happened, just like 100 little steps or 10 little steps, and every time you got 10% closer to clearing a field, you would take one step forward, that would be interesting. Yeah, a little mini map. It would be more work, certainly. Alright, so we're going to find 6 sprigs of heather, achieve a combo of 17. Ooh, that's going to be hard. And defeat the chapter boss over the course of 8 subchapters. And this is a butterfly. So some of these images clearly, these layouts clearly are trying to represent pictures. Okay, remove target playable cards and up to 2 more. Okay. Nearby random cards. Okay, so you'd have to play that slightly differently than how I just played that to ensure a good reward. I guess that's heather. But yeah, I think we've got something here. Oh, and now we have this passive ability where we can see what card is under things if we hover over things. So we now know this is where to focus, which that's nice to know. go with the 9 here, the 8 here, the 9 here, the 8 here, unless we want to undo that. I think we're happy to not undo that though. Get this 5, and then which 6 is more important? Probably this one. I don't know if the passive ability to know that the key is here is really worth losing out on other passive abilities, but what I traded was the idea of having more 8s and 9s, which maybe it's not a good thing to actually have more of any couple of cards, and instead everything should just be more balanced to the idea of there will be only 5 6s, 5 5s, 5 8s, 5 9s, one for each of the 5 suits that I think exist here. There's guns, swords, diamonds, cups, and trees, and face masks. So that's like 7 actually. It's a little surprising that they wouldn't just go the next step and actually add a 8th set, as if you were playing like 2 completely mixed together decks. Do I have to get all the way through this, or could I just finish and fail here? The problem is you've got to get the heather at least. Yeah. So you can't go, you have to at least play that far. Seven, 8. That probably wasn't the right move, but whatever. 2. We can get little bits of gold for whatever that's worth. Yep. And I kind of feel like at this level, you don't even care. It would be nice, certainly, to be able to move forward, but if I even got just 1 star, that might be good enough. Yeah. So I can either use the spare card and get 3, which is probably worth it, or I could have stuck with 2. And now we have just a new variant of the powder keg slash the iron gates with the lockpicks. It is locked behind other actions though, so this is going to be quite the nightmare of just a random event. Like, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure there's anything here. Yeah. 3, 4, 5. 1. We go back to 1, 0, and we could do this. 9. 0, and we can do that. 3, 2 or 4, no telling. 2. Yeah. And hovering here seems to indicate that there is no special cards at all. So that passive ability does seem kind of pointless. But I don't know if I have a better passive ability that I should be using. There's so few passive abilities anyways, it's kind of crazy. So now we've opened up enough. Okay. When I hit this, it won't hit that. Okay, good to know. So they do have to be relatively close to each other. There can't be a card's width distance between them. I would say at least that much. And again, we need to get the sprig. But if we were to just fail miserably here and only get so far. Okay. 1, 2 would reveal 2 versus 9 revealing something, or 1, 2 would reveal. Probably want to do this. 1, 2. 2 does nothing. 3 can get that. 1 does nothing. 7, 8, 9. 8, 7, 6. 6 to get to 5 or 6 to get to 7? Probably get to 6, 7. 3 can't do anything. We could burn these cards now. That was the 2 ones we did not need to burn. Well. So, in this last card, are we going to get a match? No, but we can use the spare card to get it. So once again, we've done a subchapter where we've really just kind of broken even. And we're definitely not getting towards that 17 combo. What have you found out so far? Well, I believe Captain Dread is behind the contraband that the letters talked about, and I know where to find it. Maria is hiding, again thanks to Dread. My guardian Peregrine Flush, oh, his last name is Flush. I thought he was just being given a nickname of Flush. Seems to be on edge. And my spiteful governess knows something about Maria. Governess? I don't think we've even heard of a governess. Seems like she is coming out of nowhere. Well, I have some news that will gladden your heart. Maria is waiting for you in Meadowfield Mill. Right under my very nose. What a merry dance she has led me. Well, I think she is ready to talk to you now that she has had some time alone to think. I'm glad of it. I love her dearly. Of course, this is assumed to be the old form of the English phrase of love, as in lover as a friend, not a lesbian overtone love. Although maybe you could certainly believe the story to be a little bit that way too if you want. It would probably spice up a otherwise dull solitaire game as far as the story and narrative. is concerned. Okay. It feels like the active ability of Shadowhand should have a second level that if you charge it and overcharge it even more, it would do something else. Or that you would get an improved version of Shadowhand. Maybe we'll eventually run into that. This would be about the time that you would get an improved version of it. But if it stays the way it is, it leaves itself open to the feeling of just being a active ability as much as any of the other active abilities. Alright, well, do we have a chance of hitting a tree card? No. So now really would be the time to reroll that. Yeah, it doesn't really help much. Got us one card closer. 8, 7. I mean, you might as well to get to this tree. 4, 3, 4. 3 does nothing. 7 does nothing. 2 does nothing. 1 does nothing. 0 can get this 9. Which that lucky really needed to happen. But now we're stuck with a 6. And of course we're going to fail miserably now. We have 5 cards remaining. The chance of pulling off all of these cards with the 5 remaining prompts is approaching 0. You do 9, 8, or we could do 1. 9, 8 is probably the right move. And then 1 there. 4 does nothing. 7 does nothing. You end here, you get no stars. And I guess we could just jump forward. I almost wonder if you won't get the achievement for beating the game at all unless you get at least 1 star for each of the sub-chapters. Because at that level, you really aren't beating the whole game. You're beating most of the game, but not all of it. This is another one of those scenarios, though, where you just need a ridiculous amount of tree cards. I guess that's always going to be the case. And there's probably thematical reasons why they're tree cards. See, I matched that 6 on that tree card and that didn't count. So it has to be a tree card on the field. Which that just makes it even more difficult. If not impossible. We probably have hit a point here where we should just reset. Restart the hand now. And let's see. +1 undo. Extra adds an 8 and a 9 to the stock, which I guess gives you 2 more options. Or an undo. I guess you do want an 8 and a 9 to stock. Now, this charge versus this charge, I think, probably implies that this should be it. Scares away a target playable card. We should play with that, actually. Just to see what it does. And yeah, let's just do that too. We'll play around and we'll use each ability in the game at least once to show off what it does. Okay, take that spare. Alright, scaring away a target playable card. Seems to not do anything. Whereas doing that apparently just removes it from play versus the fox changing it. And its charge is 48. Then we can do this and it will briefly show you what all the cards look like, if that was helpful. I don't think it really was. Okay, Joker. 9, 8, 7. Can we do anything with 7? Yes, we can play that. 1. Can play that. Got just way too many 3s and 4s. Should we shuffle at this point? Yeah, there's too many 4s and 5s all over the place. 8, 7, 8, 7, 2, 5, 4, 2, 7, 6, 1, 1, 5, 2, 0. And we're burning cards once again. But at least we learned something. Okay. And see, if this was like pyramid solitaire where you could just match 2 cards on this that are both on the field, that would be nice. That is kind of like the crazy change you could make in a solitaire game to change just the complete and total understanding of how the game was going and how the game was being played. Like, if you did one of these and it had you play Free Cell, and then you did another one of these and it has you playing Klondike, and then another one has you playing like Spider Solitaire or Pyramid Solitaire or Golf Solitaire, that would be weird, because then you basically have to learn a new form of solitaire almost every time, and I don't think that's what people would really want to do. But you could have 2 or 3 forms of solitaire and cycle between them, and that's kind of what they're doing anyways, is that there are 2 or 3 forms of... Okay. 31 out of 39, or 58, 48, 48. Get rid of 2 cards. Yeah, I think because this doesn't always work, this and this and this, it's probably the best offer. This one charges a little too much, but it might get rid of more. $48 versus 48. Yeah, I almost am leaning to the idea of getting rid of Shadowhand as an ability. Just having 3 active abilities to get rid of, that gets rid of cards. Let's see. Start with that. And then, do we want to go 3 or 1? You want to go 1. And then, if I target this, how many is it going to get rid of? Just 1. So I can't get rid of things that are next to it that have something above it. Okay, good to know. And then I think at that point you just shuffle. You're just shuffling in the hopes of running into tree cards. Okay. I need a 8 or a 0. Oh, or 1. 8 works. Pick up that 9, pick up that. Then we could go 9, 0. There you go. 9, 8, 9. And then 8. And that's your best bet. Then this 3 gets rid of this 2. To clear that. And now we are in much better position. 3 takes us 4. 4 does nothing for us. We could take a 9 here as a card, and it's probably not a terrible idea. 9, 0, 9, 0. I could take a 7 card here. Should I take it now? Let's do it. 7, 8. 6 for this 5. Then back to 6. 0 for this 1. Then 0. Then 1. 5. Can get this 4. Oops, undo that. Then get the 3. Now there's nothing that can be done. 7, 8, 9. Oops. I messed up again. 9 could have been to that 0. And seems like even a couple hours of a break between one recording and the next is more than enough to potentially lose your flow and screw up. So we have like 13 cards to get a 9 or a 1. I think there's a high chance of success there. But we are very consistently now having to try 3 times on at least half of the puzzles. And I just don't feel like my skill has increased that well, or that the like options and abilities that the game would have unlocked enough things. Okay, so you do this, 50-50 shot. That gave us a 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't really know where we're going. I guess it's there. 6, 7, 6, 7. And then 6 here. Wow, this may be our 17 combo in a nutshell. Is that this may have just been designed to let us win. 4, 3. Yep. So at 3 we could go 2. And then do we want to go back to 3 or do we want to go to 1, 0, 9 again? I think you go 1, 0, 9, 8. Getting really lucky. Then at 8, do we want to go back to 9 or 7, 6? I think we want to go 7, 6. And at 6, can we go back to 7? No. We've got a nice combo. Do we want to use our combo abilities at the moment? I think we'll reshuffle. Alright, 6. That brings us back to 5. And that doesn't really do anything more for us. I think we sit on this one because we won't refill it otherwise. And I think we're good. We're still fairly far away from a score multiplier of 5. Just doesn't feel like there's enough cards for that to really happen. Right. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8. Yeah, and I guess you could have easily still just messed up there if you just failed to get the 2 flowers. Zero, 1, 2. Yeah, we have like 13 more cards, so almost certainly we're going to be able to pull this off. Hey, we made a score multiplier of 5. And that did just give me that achievement, so we now know halfway through the game what the bar is looking for and what it is to multiply it. So then the general idea would be just how do we get as much money as possible. And in this case, it's just going to be clearing this field, and odds are extremely high we'll be able to clear the field. But all that gave me was like 63 gold, so you multiply that by 5 and you're still really only getting 315 gold, which is maybe enough for one item. Thank you for the Heather, Shadowhand. We can rely on the old ones for guidance. They're whispering to me the echoes from the past. They're whispering to me that the echoes from the past are playing out in this present intrigue. I know of a storyteller who loves to collect gossip. He knows tales about everyone, both the wealthy and the lowly. I expect he may even know a tale or two about you. You must journey to the Whistling Willow Coaching Inn over the marsh towards Avalon. Avalon being, I believe, the ancient word for England. The ostler there is a veritable mine of information. I don't know what an ostler is. And he likes to engage in a bit of sport too. I will visit the Whistling Willow, then, as soon as I have seen Maria at the mill. Yep. So basically, she already knew where she was going to send you, and she's leading you around by the nose. And you're just ignorantly playing directly into her hands. Yeah, and our multiplier is back down to 1. So it's not something like you get to keep that. It would be a very unbalanced game if you did get to keep it. Alright. So it's probably a little bit better to take this first. And yeah, I just feel like this card is never going to be next to any other cards. Now that I kind of think about it. Like, that would have been like the one time to use that, and I could have gotten rid of 2 cards. But there were 2 cards I could match anyway, so there was really no reason to do that. Oops. I guess I had a move there. Doesn't seem like it really mattered. 4, 3, 4. Yeah. So you can hit those 2. And that gets you to that. Then I can go 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Would there be any better time to use Shadowhand? I don't think so. So 8, 7. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, I guess. That's probably the right move. Are we getting score multipliers now easier? If we got combos easier and we got score multipliers easier, that'd give us more gold. But we are once again not really able to do much with the gold. And frankly, if I wasn't playing this on very hard, I would almost certainly be just breezing through the game. I think it's important to mention that. Like, I am not usually the type to play games on very hard, but I figured a solitaire game would be one in which I could make an exception for it. But normally I like the more relaxed gameplay mechanic of just playing on easy. And that's why almost always when I see a game on Steam that has achievements for beating the game on very hard, that is just a sigh of relief to me, because then I don't have to worry about getting the achievements. Which, in all fairness, I shouldn't be worrying about getting the achievements anyways, but Xbox 360 certainly instilled in me an obsession around getting achievements and gamer score for really no good reason, and that's carried over to playing PC games now. Shadowhand, do you remember the coach you held up? The woman you robbed is roaming the moors with her servants, looking for retribution. You must defend yourself and escape to continue your mission. Alright. No, I don't remember holding up a coach. It's been that long. But I guess she did. Oh, this was the sister, wasn't it? From the masquerade? I remember holding them up. You made a serious mistake when you robbed me after the ball. I'll punish you now. Groom, dispatch this miscreant at once. Okay. So we now have a reason for that character to have existed. Sorry, I'm yawning. Okay, well. Do we want to go here? So what I'm guessing is that there is a key under here, and possibly under here, or under here. One of these is wrong, though, so just mathematically or artistically for balance, I would assume there's maybe a key under here, and doing the one in the center is the mistake. And this guy's back up to 99% health. So it does seem like the game is not going to make us fight anybody with more than 99 health, which is nice to see. But that may change for like the final boss, and even that wouldn't be too bad. Okay. Do we want to play this now? Sure. Why not? And we may not really need to use any items, so if we can get away with not using any items, we probably should get away with not using any items. Literally did 1 damage because it has a base damage of 8 with the reduction of the amount of damage I do. What, he threw something at me. I don't even know what he did to throw something at me. Let's see. If I take this one, I'm done, so I'm just gonna take that and that. And so now he's got range damage plus 50%. Okay. That's a bad position to be in. But probably not that bad of a position, because we could probably just end the turns and you won't even be able to do anything. You won't be able to charge with this layout. Yep, his benefit is gone. Now we are probably going nowhere with this. Let's see. We've got it balanced. All of his items are gone. He's got a Groom's Blunderbuss, which shoots for a base of 10 and 20% chance to stun. Okay. So 5, 4. Play this. Can't do anything more. Then 8, 9, 8, 9. that unlocks that. Do I have something I want to play? We have grog, a consumable. I'll just do that, yeah. Let's see. Well, we could pound something. I don't even know if it's really worth it though. Just kind of stick with what we've got. This is just gonna take forever. Like, we keep running into this same situation where it takes way too long to win. Seems like they should at some point just start surrendering or giving up. So if we could get a decent combo and get a piercing shot, we could win on this next turn. Guess that's fairly big if. This card is touching this card, so I want to do an experiment here. Now, oddly, it took out that card. It did not take the card under it. Interesting. But it worked fairly nicely. In that I think it got rid of both copies of the masquerade faced cards. Yep. 3 more damage. Which pretty much means we've got this. You sorry excuse for a goon? Well, it says groom. Wonder what a groom is supposed to be. Haven't heard of that word in that form. Don't just stand there looking pathetic. Go and fetch the dog. Okay, well, with maybe a little bit of luck, we'll finish this chapter in less than an hour and 20 minutes. Okay. So now they've introduced the idea of a dog being a ranged weapon. Bite for 15 base and 40% chance to cause bleeding. Then we have smoke bomb and snuff bomb. Both of which are pretty awful abilities. This dog also has a charge of 7 for 15, which is kind of bad. I don't know what we could really do here to avoid taking damage at a certain point. I think we're just gonna have to get lucky. And there's a whole fight after this where we're gonna fight, I assume, the lady, so unless the lady is pathetically weak and we defeat her very quickly. I have to kind of assume that she'll put up quite a challenge. I shouldn't have shot with that gun. I should have shot with this gun, I guess. I should actually take the 0, and take the 9, then the 8, then the 9, and 8, then the 7, and the 6, go back to 7, nope, go to 5, go to 4 here, 3, no, but we can shuffle. Then 5, 6. It's the best we can do. Do I want to play a joker now? I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is throw this and see if this plus 65, this should do 10 plus something. Well, I did 12, which I guess is 65% of 10. Still just kind of waiting for this to go away. Alright, we'll just attack with that one. Now combo starts take longer, which probably isn't going to affect me much. 0. 9, 6. Could have gotten that card and he missed it. Yeah, he's making several dumb mistakes. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I guess we'll leave it at that. Fire that. Let's see, 5, 4 here, or 4 here. 4, 5. 4 here, or 4 here. 4. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Okay, this. We could just use this now, and I think that's probably as good of a choice as anything. Stop the bleed. I don't even know how much bleeding damage he really would have done over time. It may not have been more than just like 2 or 3 damage a turn for 3 turns. Let's see. 4 damage, 3 turns. It's not really that much. Feels like the bleeding mechanic was a concept that they kind of quickly realized would not work if it was too overpowered. So they nerfed it. I'm about to die. Yeah, I don't know what can save me here. I would have to just start playing incredibly terribly. Yeah. I'm doomed. I guess you might just choose to skip this and move on to the next fight, but honestly, if you can't get this fight done, who's to say you could get the next fight done? You can't hit that one, you can't hit that one. Maybe you can get that done? No. But it did knock that one out. Okay. And we've got to retry. It won't even let me go through. So let's go over to our equipment. And see what we've got that could possibly help. These bombs are useless. 2 extra turns. Maybe not. Piercing. Accuracy. It's not useful. Bleeding we could do. Defense for 5 turns. Smoke bomb, I guess. I guess I don't have the item I'm looking for, because I'm looking for an item that would increase my damage, but I guess I just don't have any of those. And there's really not anything to switch here. Guile, stealth. You know what, I'm gonna go back to this. And then I guess you could do that. Still don't really know what stealth does. Doesn't this one resist bleed? Oh, we already had that. Sea swords. Land swords. Land guns. Yep. So a slight change in outfit, probably not really gonna do a lot.
Duel.
3 cards to start a combo. Alright. So 0, 9, 0. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. We want to go 4 or go 2? Do we want to shuffle to start with? I guess you do. And then Can't do anything, so if we were to do this, that gets rid of 3 cards. Still can't do anything. Do that. Still can't do anything. So do I do a Joker now? Joker 9, 8, 9. Sure, Joker 9, 8, 9, 0. Right, that is good. We'll start with a fast attack. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and smoke bomb him. Now he's gonna smoke bomb me, which is fine because I really couldn't do anything anyways. So does anything charge a animal, or do animals just by default not have a equivalent symbol? I bet they don't have an equivalent symbol at all, and animals are going to be kind of the second class tier of weapons. Alright, well, we might as well throw this at you. 9, 0, 1, 2, 1, 2. Take that Joker for sure. 3. And that will just burn through the remaining cards. And he won't be able to pull anything off, I'm sure. Darn it. I could have used that Joker. Right, well, you can get this one. And that's literally all you can do, so move forward. Yeah, and just for the rest of the run, the combo start for him will be +3, which really makes me wish you could have one of those pipe bombs every time, or tobacco bombs, or whatever they are, instead of having to find them and then use them at a fairly rare instance. Okay. 9, 8, 7, 8, 7. Should stop the bleeding now. That wastes that combo. So should I have played the card at all? I guess that is an interesting question. Is it important to get a combo and play the cards, or is it just as well in the duel to just end your turn even if you can play, if you're just going to use an item? Well, we did deflect one, so the cloak is worth it. But yeah, it's going to be questionable whether we can close the gap or if this is another failure. If he can't make any combos, maybe. Should we play a joker here? Nah. We're gonna run out of cards anyways. Okay. Nothing to play, but we can just attack. Another deflect. Hey, we may actually be able to pull this off. 7. Didn't do anything. If I had done this 7, it wouldn't have done anything. Okay. Do this. And then do we go this way? That wasn't a smart move. Should have done that. Yeah. 2, 1. 7, 6. Take this 7. Take that spare. Actually, should I have taken the 7? Probably should have taken the 5 and the 4. Yeah. Oh, should I shuffle now? 2, 1. Yeah, there may be a strategy here that I'm just not understanding about not playing at all and instead waiting for the right moment in which you can get a combo. Because I could play like the Joker here and probably need to, otherwise I'm gonna lose. We need to get a 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. We lost our 7. If I play a 1 here, it gets a 0 and does nothing more. 6, 5, 6. Can't do anything more. 5. If this was piercing, we would win. But if he can charge anything before I can attack a second time, he's going to probably take me out. That being said, this probably wins. Just firing that now. Can we do anything more? Yeah. Do I need to play any of these spare cards? Probably not. If we hit that and use the ability, might show something interesting. Nope. And even in that case, we still only got 1 star because it took so long. Yeah, I don't know how you would really get 3 stars on very hard in that. It really feels like it would just be random luck or a case of a lot of grinding and just having a ton of Joker cards. Notice that at the very first 4 or 5 chapters of this game, we had built up the maximum amount of spare cards, and now we're using them so often that we barely have 2 at most. And it is still very questionable whether or not there would just be a ton of setup that you'd have to do to finish this game, because if we're having difficulty in the halfway point, it's probably only going to get harder. One can't hire decent staff these days. One just can't hire decent staff these days. I suppose I'll have to finish the job myself. This is a different picture of that lady, I think, than how we saw her before. And we got 1 strong tea and 32 gold. That is a very small amount of loot. Lady Spry certainly meant it when she said her coachmen were expendable. Something tells me that she doesn't spare the horses when she uses that whip either. So, yep. Now we are fighting Lady Spry, who resists pierce and deflects throwable objects. She has a new item, Belladonna Grenade. Slows opponent's weapons charging. And strong tea to remove slowness. So, now would definitely be the point to do something like that. Do something like that. Now, coat-wise, or cloak. Sea damage, land damage. We'll just try different outfits. Luck. Yeah, we don't really have a different weapon though, so. And I don't see a different like thing you would want to use, or a different strategy you could use. Like, you really are just getting the weapons with the best attack for the most part. Okay. So, yeah. Can I do anything at all? Straight up just restart the hand. Like, if you literally can't do anything on the first turn, just restart. Like, no progress had been made, so no progress was lost. Now in this one, I guess we are looking for diamonds. To open up these piles. That was they've given some different sound effects for her, whereas they probably have been just using the same male sound effects for all the other characters, and she comes off as making a lot more noticeable sound effects, because I was not even noticing that the other characters were making the standard oof sounds. So yeah, weapon charge is now way down, which might matter, might not. Oh, she can deflect things. Oh, that was interesting that the animation went right next to it and crossed over the border. Wonder if all the animations have been like that. If they have, I've just not paid attention to them. I think probably not. I think this Lady Spry, they put more effort into it. I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of the first things they worked on, and then they started to get a little bit lazier as they added generic coachmen and soldiers. I wish I could tell what number that was. So 7, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah. Getting somewhere in the middle point and shooting probably is how it's been going before that. This fight. 1, 2. Do I go 1, 2, 3, 2? Probably. 2. And then back to 3. Yeah, that animation is different. She is halfway over the border, swiping the whip. And this whip, this riding crop, has a base damage of 12 and 20% chance to cause bleeding. Yeah. That's pretty deadly. Let's see, is now the time to shuffle? Definitely not now. First thing to do would be to play this. And then this, and then this. And then this. And this. And this. Take that. And then that. And that. And that. Nothing to shuffle now. Yeah, she has another whole strong T, so we probably will have to use a strong T ourselves at some point. At least once. Yeah, you'd almost suspect that she should do less damage and she'd hit you with a crop that barely does like 6 damage, and thus it can't actually do any damage at all because of your defense being too high. Which that would be the funny turnabout as far as how this would go, is just for the middle of the game to have a boss fight that's not really a boss fight, to reinforce the idea of, hey, if your defense is high enough and their attack is low enough, they can't actually ever hurt you. Of course, it is maybe a little sexist that the first major female person you fight, I'm suggesting, would be super weak, which is true, so maybe you do that with the subchapter 7 of 8, if you were going to do that. Should we shuffle now? Should we use a spare card? I don't think a spare card would be terrible. Yeah, you do this one, you grab this, then you grab this, 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 this. That's not too bad. And there's her last tea, so we're now well situated for success. 7, 6, 7. 7, 8. Yeah, you played 8. There's no reason not to. Shuffle now. Might as well. Spare card. 9, 0, 9 here. That's all I can do, but whatever. Wow. What in the world was that? And you have to defeat the chapter boss. That was the game just deciding to win on you. I don't see any other way to explain that than the game just straight up deciding to cheat to win. 1, 0, 9. That slows the weapon charging. Okay. So do we go 7, 8 now? Probably is better. One. There's literally nothing else I can do here. So we'll shuffle. 2, 1, 2, 6. Yeah, having the throwable objects and having her 20% chance to deflect that is a mistake. If I have to restart again, I'll try and remember to change that. Do I want to do this now? Sure. 3, 4. 6. Okay. Guess you play that. And then you play that. And you play that. Take that joker. And then I guess since that doesn't do anything for you, and we can't play that one, now is the time to drink the tea. Should I drink another tea? 20% of our health would be, I mean, you still would be fairly safe to drink the tea now, but let's not. Well, let's see. If you were to get a combo once it's already charged, does anything change there? I don't think so. And it's slightly poorly explained here that when it says resist, it's just resisting the pierce. It's not actually resisting the amount of damage. The base damage of 13 minus the defense of 7 was 6. And that is how much damage she took. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We will undo. Try again. 9. Then 0. 9. Yeah, I think we're gonna win here. 5, 4, 3. 5, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. That's not the direction I was gonna go, but 5 there. And I could use a spare to try and build up our attack more, but I think it's gonna take a couple turns. If I hit this one, would it hit anything else nearby? No. That's good to know. I mean, I could certainly use a spare 1 here. To go 2, 3, 4. And then back to 3. Then attack there. Yeah, unless she caused the bleeding effect, I think we won. Nine, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6. Do we go 7 or go 5? 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yeah, nothing more that can be done there. But that's all we needed. Still didn't get 3 stars. Astonishing, you have bested me this time, scoundrel, but mark my words, I'll be back. So I suspect we will see her again. So overall that got us 1478 gold. And not a lot of other things. We have now a melee weapon that has a base of 12 and a charge of 4. That might be good. We have the feathered tricorn, 20% chance to deflect throwable items, 227 gold, and 1 belladonna grenade, slow opponent's weapon charging, which that'll probably turn out to be useful. I see you've acquired a riding whip. I also have a fine riding habit if you need one. Alright, so extra slot to equip gear, plus 1 defense if worn with the white riding boots, versus Alright, well, we've got to buy this and just see how this works. Extra slot to equip gear. Okay. And yeah. Start with getting a grog bomb there. And then we'll do that. And then we'll do that. It's questionable whether we will ever have any more extra slots to equip gear. And that's all it had to offer for that. This is 12 for 4, and it's a melee weapon versus a ranged weapon. So we'll swap it around just because. The rest of these still aren't worth doing anything with. 13 charge of 6 or charge of 12. Okay. And I still feel like cheat getting better cards is probably what we should be shooting for. So I'm just going to keep putting points into that. And if we're at 60 health now, it does just kind of feel like we will get up to 99 and that'll be the maximum health. Okay. And I guess what we'll do is we'll buy this. And we'll buy this. And we'll buy like this. And buy this. And that's just to keep the shop kind of empty. We still would probably have to grind a little bit more than you'd want to unlock all these items. Right, in this hat, 20% chance to deflect versus basic head protection. Yeah, it feels like we are getting closer and closer towards the final appearance of Shadowhand, although her hair is different in the picture and her face isn't covered and she's wearing a purple coat. But yeah. Yep, that is a more purpley theme, I would say. Chapter 12 is next. So, yeah. Yeah, everything she wears in this image is purple. The hat we just got is basically that hat. We have a purple mask that doesn't quite look like this, but obviously this is a more artistic version of the way she's depicted than the rest of the game depicts her. Her hair is different. We may have this gun, or we may not. And yeah, it's basically like she's not wearing a coat at all. So it almost feels like there should be a achievement to try and make her appearance look and match the way it looks in the game. See, her arm wouldn't be up in this depiction, and there's no way to move her arm. If we remove that, you see it's that, which is not purple. We would need something purple for the shirt too. And we don't see the pants or the boots, but we would assume they're all purple. And I think she is wearing a bracer. Let's see. Yeah, she has a purple bracer too. She also has a necklace. We probably aren't going to have necklaces. Alright, well, it's been an hour and 34 minutes, and I bet I don't think there actually is an achievement for trying to play the paper dress up the whole game and make her look like the main menu. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.